Hello. Oops. Hope everyone is doing well. Let's get that set. Oh, okay. Biddy, good morning. Were you hanging at your phone? Beautiful card yesterday. Beautiful, beautiful. Hello, Sala. Oh, yes. I had an awesome time yesterday. And with yesterday, we had fun creating our cards together with Biddy. And again, we came up with, oh, I should try Biddy. Came up with 3 ideas. LaFrance, good morning. So I did finish. So yesterday, Biddy actually did a card when it came to the clean and simple, and I actually did a grid. And I didn't want to cut it. I wanted to keep this together. And here we have all the ones that I put in there. And then I put my little chop off of one and then just finished it up, filled it in. And these are part of the 31 Tangles. And again, if you're interested in getting the pamphlet and following along, you can do that in my Podia community. It's free. You'll get one every single day. And then on the back, I listed the tangles that I did. And then when we did it, the date, World Card Making Day, and I was live with Biddy, and I signed it, dated it, and put best day every year on the back. So I think this is something like this you can frame, or you can just put it in a sleeved art journal, and just have fun with it, or continue tangling along. So lots of different interesting things going on there. Um, well, good morning, Barbara. How are you? Welcome. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed the live. I did as well. Very, very much. Good morning, Gwen. How are you? So we're going to kind of do the same thing. So I've gridded up watercolor paper. Um, just gridded this up. We're going to put some water splashes on it. I have my card bases here. We're actually going to work on a standard A2 size. This is very tiny, tiny, tiny for me, but I do work on them. Um, but I figured these were a good size because I have each of these panels cut to 4 by 5 1/4. Um, and then I just divided them. It may not be perfect, like this one I can see is a little off, but that's okay. These are going to become our focal points, and we're going to paint with our watercolors for our focal points. So I'll be able to cut through these and then place them, and then I just have some different types of, this is an old, very old pad. This is from 2013. Yeah. Just have a couple of those that we can cut up and just put our scrappies, what we'll call scrappies, behind that. So that's what we're going to do today. I do too. I really like this. I'm really getting used to, I think this was a really nice warm up for me um, to work and tangle on watercolors. Um, so yeah, and my group in the in our second level of our community will see that a little bit more throughout this month, and then we're gonna take it up a notch when we do that. So yeah. So yeah, I actually used my QORs yesterday, those watercolors. And then these are the panels that I have set for our level 2 to just put a bunch of tangles on them. So that's fun. I love making backgrounds like this. Absolutely. And they're not as dark as what it was yesterday. I went very muted yesterday. All right, so let's get started. Let's water down. My watercolors that I'm using today are my Lucas. I do enjoy my Lucas watercolors. And I'm just going to put down some water in each of these squares. Just to let them sop up. This was another scrap piece of watercolor that I found. I think, um, yeah, I'm not sure what this is. Absolutely not sure. I think this is actually, to be honest, this watercolor paper that I like to tangle on, actually. Very awesomely priced as well. It's made by Packin. I think that's how I want to say that. I think. Okay, so let's get some colors added. And when I'm adding swatches to these, I want to go light. So that I don't get the full color. I need to find my water bottle. Is it water? Yes. It'll help get those activated. And some colors, we can mix. Some colors we don't have to. Not looking to fill the entire block. But we're going to go a little brighter. That one's a little dark, but I think that's Payne's Gray. And again, I'm just swooshing. Just swoosh the color on. It's a technical term. And just letting the watercolor do its thing. Well, hello, Debbie J. How are you doing? Cordelia, good morning. And since I put water down first, we can always add another color. And I'm always little hair. Always gotta have just one muted color. Always gotta have one. Where do I want to go next? So how did everyone enjoy World Card Making Day? Did you do anything fun? I don't like that green. And Biddy, it's good to see that you survived your day. You had a very hectic day. Very, very hectic day. So I'm literally just adding the colors straight on. Seeing what we come up with. Seeing if I want to add another color. No, I just need one more. It's always just that one more that I need. I think this one, just going to scratch some colors in there. Brighten that one up just a little bit. And then once I get these colors on, I will spritz it with water. Oh, hair, hair, hair from the brush. See that? Got it. Nope, got it. I'm going to stay away from purple. I don't think it's going to look right. I don't know what to put with that one. Maybe we'll just go with a little bit of purple. There we go. Purples are very strong. Very, very strong. And we'll see what this does. I don't know what to put with that one. No. There we go. All right, so we're going to let these dry. We'll just dab that one. And now I'll come in with some spritz. Water. Ave, good morning. Story, good morning. You're doing a lot of catch up, Debbie. Okay. awesome. Yeah, I was in and out on the, I taped these down wrong. That's okay. Some people will add salt to their pieces. I just find adding water does the same thing. And then we'll see what we do on top of these. All right, so I'm going to set these aside. Just having fun with the watercolors. All right. Can set these aside. All right, let's look at our card bases. And I'm just going to pull some out. I'm not going to worry about the colors. Because we kept our palette nice and bright. All right. And we're just going to cut. So it's like a, we'll do almost like a simplicity, where we just cut our pieces. Or maybe we'll tear them, because tearing is therapeutic. Right. All right. So with those panels, I have a total of 12. So I have 6 black and 6 craft. These were actually sitting next to me. I have no idea for what. And we're just going to make our backgrounds. This is very textured paper. Hear that? And I do want to create a frame. So, copy paper. Let's get this cut. So these are going to be my bases that I'll work with. Save those. So I save these copy paper scraps for journals, for when I sew in my journals and if I need a template. So what is everyone doing today? I've got to do some cleaning. I won't be live next Sunday because it's time for our retreat for my sister and I. Good morning, Jock. how are you? Welcome. The story, you're finishing a fanzine. Did I say that right? For your friend's movie? Okay. So this will help guide what I want to do in the back here. And we're going to tear. I probably didn't need all of those cut, but it's always good to be prepared. So I want to keep, since these are color, I'm going to keep a section of that open. And by keeping that section open, we are going to add our sentiment. And we're not going to use a stamp because we don't have to. Now, I know some people will say, but my handwriting looks horrible. But that doesn't mean that it can't be used. So I'm just going to layer these on this, match them up. See, I've already pivoted. And that's okay. That is totally okay. So our focal point's going to be the bridge. Between the two pieces. So I'm going to go through each of these once with the colors. And then I'll go back through. Hope that makes sense. So I want to stick with 2, because I think 2 will just be perfect. And hopefully no one thinks that this is wasting paper. We're not. We're having fun with our papers. This one I may go to 3. I'm going to try to avoid on some of these, a white tear. Again, that just adds texture. We don't have to add any foam or anything like that. We can also just have one piece. So this is just a different style of simplicity. Well, hello, Caroline. I'm going to do like that green with that. Camille, good morning. Oh, wonderful. You're going to be in a craft show. That's awesome. What do you make for your craft show? Do you just do cards? Or do you do other things as well? Now, I do want the straight line on that one. Nope, not measuring. And then we can go into different shapes. Also just go with one. Let's get some of these smaller pieces in there. To mix it up. And we'll keep that one in there too. And then we have our last one. Tuck that right up in there. Alrighty. And then I'll keep these out in case I want to add more, depending upon what we've done. Plus I keep these anyway. These are great for master boards, these little pieces. We just add a perfect hint of color. Oh, don't be nervous, Camille. They're awesome. I only do one a year as well, because they take a lot of work. Oh, well, look at that. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Now they're done. Now they're done. Just looking over the comments. Remember, if anybody's got any questions, just put them in caps and I'll be able to see them. I'm not going to glue these down yet. I need to put these with my journals. Okay, let's check our board. Oh no, they're still wet. But I do like the way they're coming up. That's awesome. Carla, I'm ready for fall as well. Yes. I'm on the East Coast as well, and yes, we are going up to like 83 today, they're saying. Oh, I'm glad you're going to go back asleep after my live. All right, I'm going to just real quick hit this, see if I can get these to dry. think they're dry. All right, let's take our tape off. Wrong way. And to continue celebrating Inktober and all of the fun that it is, we're going to do something inky on these. Because that's what October is about. Ah, that was the tape. Whether that's, and you guys get to choose, we can do you want me to do tangles again in each of these spaces? I can do all kinds of different ones. This is watercolor. These little blocks that we've done. Caroline. I'm really getting into my watercolors. Just having fun creating the backgrounds. It's another one of those therapeutic things. And I know somebody will say you should save the tape. I know, but the way I pull it off, it just coils up. And I taped all of that, or all of this, so that I can get more out of the watercolor paper to create the panels. Okay, so you want me to tangle? All right, we can tangle. We will tangle, Gwen. So for those of you that don't know, I think a lot of you do, I am a certified Tangle instructor. I've been certified, well, yes, I'm certified. I've been certified, I believe it's been since 2021. Absolutely love it. I teach in-person classes. I do Zooms, or I will do Zooms. I do Zooms also through my local communities. I teach in my local high school. All right, so here are our panels that we're just going to have some fun with. And again, these are going to be our focal points that are going to sit on top of these. This is my version of clean and simple, like we did yesterday with Biddy. I just didn't have the heart. This is what my clean and simple was. I just didn't have the heart to cut this. Yeah, I didn't want to cut this. All right, so let me give me 1 second. I'm going to get my stool so I can sit down. Oh, that's a cat toy if you hear that. Oh my. Okay. I stand when I do all crafts except when I tangle. And I'm just going to pull in a few things. What's this? I like that size. Okay. I think we are set now. So, yes, I am a certified instructor. I'm just about to finish up a class now. I do. I absolutely enjoy teaching when it comes to this. I want a certain size. That's the one I want. And I don't want those. So again, if anyone is interested, I do have an introduction to Tangle up on my Podia that you can take. There's 8 steps to it. It's a process. It's very relaxing. And today we'll focus on the Tangle original tangles. I'm sitting on my chair backwards. That's funny. Okay. Let's zoom in. How's that? Now, hopefully I'll remember where that is. I'm just going to put a piece of tape here, because if I don't, I will then. So, Biddy, we are going to be tangling. Alright, so I'm just going to put a piece of tape there. And I'm going to put a piece of tape there. Because that'll just help me stay in frame. And I'll put one here. There we go. So yes, Inktober. Inktober's just that. It's ink, and it can be anything. It's not just for tangles. It's for anything ink wise. Let's start with this one. So this tangle here is actually a new tangle. And there's, what's nice with this size is one tangle will fit in here. And this one is a new one. And it's called Mystical. And I can't see, so I need my other glasses. now I can see. Look at that. Okay. So tangles are done with strokes that we do every day. And this one starts out with like a question mark. And then this one's going to have another one that comes up. Now I'm working on cold press watercolor paper. So this is not the paper that I thought it was. So my lines will break every once in a while, and that's okay. And then this comes around like that. And then we break. Can everyone see that what I'm doing here? And then we come up from this one and swoop around. See? And then we're going to do it again. Now, because what's nice, what I'm finding nice working on watercolor panels is when you have a break, you can put the break in. See, I don't have any watercolor, so I'm not going to keep adding that just to give it some interest. And then we have another loop that comes out here, and it will come in on the other side. And then this one will come out here and stop. That's the basic tangle of Mystical. Caroline, it is. It is a wonderful method for relaxation, and I can attest to that. It very much does that. So, and if you're interested, you can reach out, and I can tell you all the ways of how you can learn more, where you can go, all of different options. So please feel free to reach out. I encourage it because there is a process to it. There's more to learn when it comes to this. But this here, that's the basic tangle. Now we're just going to have fun embellishing it. So here, I want this to look like it's going to cut through. I'm going to create that stroke there, and that stroke there. And then I'm just going to thicken this line on the end. And then I'm going to do the same thing on top. And you're going to see me stop a lot of times, because if I don't, I'll just really start tangling, and then I won't talk. And we don't want that. We do not want that. And then got some points coming off this. That. We can also add what's called hatching. I'm just going to round this down here. Okay. And then we shade. And this is where your piece, your tangle, comes to life. Now I'm using a different type of graphite. This is a very deep, very dark graphite. I like the graphite. I go very heavy with it. But you can use a number 2 pencil. We do not care about light source. We do not care where the light source is coming from. We don't worry about up or down. And here, I'm going to add that there. And then we blend this out. You can see we don't, this isn't, it's not like working with colored pencils. We just swirl it. And this, we like to say, the tangle comes to life. So I hope you do something for Inktober, whether that's just drawing, or maybe you're trying some tangles. This is the first time that I am actually doing Inktober. I know, right? I know. I know what's all in your heads there. So, oh, bye, Camille. I hope you figure out your Christmas card. Do you have to know to draw? Absolutely not, Caroline. No, you do not. When you go through the process for learning Zentangle, these are strokes that we do and we use every day. So I'm going to pull in some color. There's something that I actually want to try. And you know what? I'm going to move my table over. We like to say, no artistic ability needed here. Sometimes people think, when we learn something new, and I hope everyone can hear me because I'm kind of sitting down from the phone. Usually I'm like right up on it. You do not. You can just, these are, you saw, these are just curves, or they're straight lines, or no, you do not. All right, so what I want to try, because yeah, I got new toys. So while we use graphite, number 2 pencil, or a darker, a heavier graphite type pencil, we can also use chalk pastels. So what I want to do is actually, I want to see what this would look like if I add a color that matches, because this is what I want to do in our, when we do our Podia Zoom for this. And we'll just use this one. because I want to see. I have this idea in my brain. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, this works. Yay. But you do not have to use the colors. Okay. So can't stress that enough. We just keep adding lots of different things to them. My curiosity piqued Caroline, and I thought the same thing. But I also thought, okay, this is doodling on steroids. We shouldn't say doodling, because we're creating art. This is more than, and you can see I'm scratching. I'm literally just putting this color down, and then I'm swishing it. So again, you don't have to, like with colored pencils, do you have to have that perfect blend? No, no. It looks better when you don't. And then to add a highlight, I like to come in with a white charcoal. And I blend that out with my finger. And by making that, put the white there. There you go. That is mystical. That is mystical. So, no, Caroline, you do not. Cordelia, have you been having fun with the tangles? Have you been trying them? Cordelia's, I hope you don't mind me saying, Cordelia's a member of our community. And as I said, there's one coming out each day. And it's instructional. And see? And now that looks like it's going through and under. And again, it was just with the trick of the shading and all of that. Okay, let's do another one. I'm looking through my list. We have a list. Oh, this one's fun. And this one will be fun. So I do like to add pastels. Perfectly said, Biddy. Perfectly said. So she said, if you make things, then you are an artist and a crafter. It's not about the outcome. It's about the process. It is. Whether we take a piece of paper and tear it, take another piece of paper and tear it, and just layer them up, we are creating art. This right here is a little piece of art. We're creating something from something else. That's the definition. All right, this one's called Hardy Y4. This too is another new Tangle that came out. So this one starts, I always have to think. With some S curves. that. And then we're going to do another one, but we're going to connect into the one above, about midway. And we're not going to connect on the one at the bottom. And we're just going to keep on doing that, coming down. And then this will be my last one. And I'm going to bring that down like that. All right. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. But we're going to do it the opposite way. So we're going to mirror what we just did. And then we're going to connect down here. And see, I don't worry if my lines break. And what I mean by my lines breaking, if I bring this up, see there's like a little gap right there. Don't worry about it. Nothing to worry about. So on the top, we're going to curly Q. And we're going to come in. And then we're going to continue where we didn't complete. We're going to turn those into curly Q's as well. And we're coming up, and then we're coming straight down. And we're going to do that on the other side. And I know somebody's going to say, okay, you make it sound so easy. It honestly is. Just got to take your time and break it down. Alright, so now that we've added those little curly Q's, now we're going to connect across. And what I mean by that is we're going to connect these bottom curls. And then we're going to come across, we're going to pick up our pen, and then come on the other side. And we're going to do the same thing to the top of our curves. See, now it looks like a little paper scroll. See? 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 Oh, lots of comments that I was missing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let me get caught up. Let's see here. I thought I saw a question in caps. Okay, Ave, do you create the tangles as you go? Or are they pre-established? So all the tangles are pre-established, Ave. Meaning that I have not yet created any tangles. So that's how we know their names and all of that. A lot of CZTs create their tangles. And then we have fun tangling them. So see, they look like little scrolls. So no, this isn't, as you continue to do tangles, you'll find you have your favorites. I do still refer to step outs. So now when I create the monthly tangles in our community, There are step outs are available in the level 2. I can recreate those, and I only do that for Zentangle initial, the original Zentangle Tangles. I respect artists that also, other CZTs that create tangles. Um, and I do not create a step out for that because that's their creation, but I can show them. But I just don't do a step out. So now that we have this, and that's the basic tangle right there. Now we can have fun embellishing, creating different marks, and just having fun with it. So here, because we've got to think. We've got to think. So from the bottom, I'm going to create a little fescue. And there's, as you keep tangling, you'll start memorizing how the tangles go. And then I'll have another one that comes off here. And then we'll add what's called a caviar. It's a little dot. And then we'll do that going up. And I'll have it go opposite ways. And then when we leave that little space open like that, as I'm coloring in or inking in, that's how we highlight. See, I get very quiet. I need to make sure I'm checking back in over there. So I will check back in as soon as I get that caviar in there. So now we have that design going up. Wow. Ave, when you're asking where did I get them, what do you mean? So now I'm going to aura around this whole piece, meaning I'm just going to put a line. Biddy said it best yesterday. This is like our way of fussy cutting. I don't mind this fussy cutting. Just say. So yeah, Ave, are you referring to the tangles? And we have that. feel like I'm missing something. So around this, I'm going to round the corners. And then we can add some tipple. All right, I'm going to let that like that. Well, hello, Beth. Good morning. Yes. So um, there's many CZTs that have their channels. So now I'm going to start with the graphite again. They have channels. They do lots of just beautiful things. They really, really do. There's also a website. Oh, Gwen, what is it? Tangles.com, I think. That's what it's called. Oh, see, forgot a line. Forgot a line. Gotta come up here, connect that. There we go. Where you can, if you see a tangle that you like, you can then click on that tangle and it'll take you to the step out, the artist's step out, or to Zentangle's step out. Again, I don't do a step out for other artists simply out of respect. Zentangle, I am permitted, because I'm a CZT, to create step outs for their tangles. But we are not permitted to show the book. Yeah. We are not permitted. We signed. That's why whenever you'll see when I do a video for when I'm tangling, there's all kinds of statements that I add. And again, that's to protect them, protect me. But yeah, we cannot show the master book. Yeah. Okay. So now this looks like it's just constantly folding on itself. And it's just by the way that we shade it, the way that we add the colors to it. I do want to come in though with the blue as well. I like going over the graphite with the different colored charcoal to accent the watercolor. I'm going to accent down here. Oh, scratchy, scratchy. You can tangle on anything. You do not need, you can use copy paper. You can use a ballpoint pen. You can use cardboard, notebooks, you name it, and we can use it. So it's not a craft that you have to have all of these things. No. Mm-mm. I do add, oh, and your graphite could just be a #2 Ticonderoga pencil. So use what you have. You have all the supplies already to start tangling. Absolutely. Now, I am using chalk pastels. I do like pulling those in because I do like the different colors. You don't have to, though. That's sometimes where your expense will come in. And then I'm just going to come back in with my liner. Let's make that a little bit more prominent. And then we've got to add our white. I like the highlight. That is Hardy Y4. Is the CZ course online? Do you mean Salad to be certified? To become a certified Zentangle? If that's a yes, yes. They did recently. I was the first class they did online. Yes. You can do that. All right. Let's do Muka. Muka is my nemesis. I'm actually going to follow this. So Muka comes up. We continue to curl around. And come back down. That's Muka. That is Muka. And then we can have another one. Cross it. Going the opposite way. And we'll go big one here. Hey, Maddie, how you doing? And I think I'll have one coming here. And we'll add one more here. That is Mooka. Linda, hello. Welcome. If anyone is interested to become certified, just go to zentangle.com and then you can email them. I believe they are coming up. I think the deadline is already closed. They usually do a session in the spring and they do a session in the fall when it comes to that. Um, it's a 4-day course. And I'm not gonna lie, it's it's a good price. All right, now we're gonna add a graphite. Now, I suggest if you're looking to teach, if you're looking to add it to your arsenal, then absolutely, yep, this is something that you can definitely add. They will give you everything that you need to be as successful as you want. Um, they'll support, they'll help, they'll do all of these different things for you. They just won't do it for you, of course. But if you're just looking to learn that, okay, you want to learn this art, then I would suggest just hooking up with a CZT to to learn this. That one's dirty. To learn this, because again, you don't have to be a CZT to tangle, to show it. You have to be a CZT to teach it, to teach the method of this. So keep that in mind. But I encourage anybody, if you want to learn this, be a CZT, by all means. You will absolutely love it. Mocha. That tangle was my nemesis. Yes, I need to add that. No, Sal, what I mean is, so let's say, all right, so here's an example. If you take the CZT course, you are able to teach the Zentangle method because there's 8 steps. I'm not going through the 8 steps. I'm tangling. That's what I'm doing here. I am tangling. Um, so if you're a CZT, you teach the method. There is a method to this. Now, again, if anybody wants to see the method, I do have an intro. Um, you can, the way that I'm doing this right now, so that's a CZT. We have the ability to provide a step out. We have the ability to teach in person on Zoom, have a community on Zentangle, all of that. If now that's a CZT. Now, let's say you come to me. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and I teach you the Zentangle method, and I teach you all of these tangles. You're able to do what I'm doing right here. You can tangle on your channel. You can just show the tangles. You can't show the step outs. I mean, I really can't either. You know, I can't pull any books in. I show the tangle. So exactly what I'm doing here is what you can do when it comes to that. Being a CZT just gives you more information, and then we just push it all out. Does that make sense? I don't know if I explained that correctly. But you can absolutely, let's say you saw Gwen do a tangle, and you really like that tangle, and you studied it, you created, you know, your own step out and all of that. You can show that tangle just like I'm doing right here. I hope that helps. You do not need to be a CZT to tangle on your video or on a video. And then again, like let's say if you create a digital download with, you know, tangles that you create, or you just start tangling, we can't call it Zentangle art. We call it Zentangle inspired art. This is Zentangle inspired art that we're doing. Does that make sense? So, Maddie, a step out is a um, it's a series of blocks that shows how to break down the tangle so that you can do a tangle. Okay, um, and it's just a series of blocks, and like something will be highlighted because that's the next stroke that you take. Now again, you can see step outs. So let's say, all right, let me grab one because I can show one of mine for Zentangle ink. Hang on. You all got a lot of questions. Would you like me to give you all a discount code for the intro to Zentangle? Let's see. Where did I put them? Hang on. Okay, how far are we in? Okay, okay. We're an hour and a half. Oh, okay. I don't think that was a question. I think that was a statement, Ave. All right. So, okay. No, Sal, don't be confused. So, here's a step out. All right, so this is where we start. We follow the arrows. That's the red is our next step. The red's our next step, and then so forth. That's what a step out is, so that you get to hear what that tangle looks like and how you do that. All right, those are recreated. Those are recreated by me. They are not the original document that we have received from Zentangle. We have to recreate it because it's just like a copyright. If I just took their step outs that they give us and make copies of them and hand them out to people, that's a copyright infringement. That would be like me taking your digital that you created and me selling it if I teach a class. Does that make sense? So that's the same principle. So for Zentangle original tangles, I can recreate. They allow us to recreate and create our version of a step out. And when I teach my classes, whether they're online or whether they're in person, I can provide that handout for the one that I created because I show its name. This was created by Zentangle Inc., but it's my artwork that put the step out together. All right? That's what I'm permitted to do. I am not permitted to show their book because that's their artwork. If you become a CZT, all right, if that's what you're interested in, then you would be able to teach the method. You would be able to speak about the method. You would be able to create your step outs for the Zentangle original tangles. Other CZTs create tangles. So this one here is by, I don't know if that's in, yes it is. So this one here is a Zentangle Inc. Tangle. So I can create a step out for this if I teach it in class. This one here is created by a CZT, Carla Joran. Out of respect, I cannot show her step out or create a step out for my classes, but I can teach that tangle. I just can't provide a step out. They would have to take notes as I'm teaching them this tangle, just like you're all doing here. I'm doing these tangles, and if you're sitting, you're taking notes. Okay, she did this here, she did this here, she did this here. So there's the difference, and I'm a CZT. If you don't want a CZT, you just come to me and you want to learn the method. You want to learn what Zentangle is all about. Then exactly what I'm doing here is what you can do. You just can't teach it. Does that help, Sala? Maddie, in a way, when it comes to certain things, yes, because we have created it. Now, that doesn't mean that I cannot, when I create my stamps, that doesn't mean that I can't pull in and put in my stamp this tangle. I can, because my stamps are Zentangle inspired. So I can put this. The design itself is not copyrighted. I can put it in a piece of art. Now, I can't make a stamp that just looks like this. I've got to have it with other tangles, okay, other pieces. And I cannot create a step out, because again, that's out of respect of the creator. And I give that respect. Some people do, some people don't. That's on them. For me, I want to respect the creator. All right? So I couldn't just put this, create that as a stamp. Does that make sense? Talking about deputy. Yes, step out equals directions and tangles equals doodles with names. Yes, I can show it. So, you know what? We're going to do seedways. I'm going to do that tangle right now. So I can show it. Because I've looked at the step out. I know how the step out works. I just can't show that step out on camera or create a handout on it. And even if you've learned the CZT method, it's the same for you as well. You cannot show the step out, but you can show it on your channel just the way that I'm doing it right now. So here we go. So we're gonna, yeah. And you can get a copy of the step out. So like the 31 days of tangles, Stephanie Jennifer, she puts a lot of work into that document. And when you get a copy of the document, when you click on the boxes, so I can show you the document. This is what the document looks like. She does this every year for Inktober. Every year. And she does wonderful things with it. Absolutely wonderful things with this. And she shows you what each tangle is going to be each day. When you download this and you click on this, it's going to take you to a step out. So you'll know and see how to do this tangle, how to do this tangle. This one's actually by Stephanie Jennifer, a CZT. So you can go to each of these step outs. You just cannot teach this, but you can show it, just like I'm doing here. Does that help? I am so sorry. I did not mean to cause this confusion. My goodness. Okay? And even me, I'm going to show this, but I would never show her step out. Now, I could email her, say I'm a fellow CZT, I'm number 37, 37 group. I'm not the 37th CZT. You know, are you, I'd like to teach this in one of my classes. Would you be okay if I recreated a step out? You know, all of that fun stuff. Again, out of respect. But exactly what I'm doing right now is what you can do. And if you go on YouTube and search, you're going to see a lot of CZTs and even non CZTs. They're doing this. They're showing each of these tangles and how they're putting them in a composition or whatever they're doing. You can see that. So exactly what I'm doing here, you can do. And then we put our little tiny lines here to help us. But if you want to tangle on your channel, you do not have to be a CZT. And what we're going to do is we're going to come off this and come down to that line. And we're going to do the same thing. And then I'm just imagining one's over there. And then we put these little marks in here. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And I forgot a mark. But that's okay, because there are no mistakes. And where are these? And then we're going to do it to the other side. And that is Seedways by Carla Joran, who's a CZT. That is what you can do. Okay, Sally, if you do that, I need to have one of the cards. Yes, Sally. Exactly what Gwen said and exactly what you said. And then again, just out of respect, now I'm also going to put, I need to get some people here to be moderators. Anybody want to volunteer for that? Because then I can get you all set up. Um, there is, and I'm going to put it in the description after we're done our lives, where there's thousands, even the original Zen tangles and all these tangles that CZTs have created and come up with. There are thousands of tangles in there. You'll see the name, you'll see the name of the person, and whether or not they're a CZT. There's some people that are not CZTs that have created tangles, and that's okay too. All right? And when you're on this site, you've got all of these things to look through. Matter of fact, here it is. So this copy here, tanglepatterns.com. All right, so take that down. These are all the tangles that you would have access to. Now these are just pictures, but these are when you, and just go onto the website. You can purchase this, but you're not getting the step outs. You have the ability when you purchase this to click on these boxes and it will take you to the creator's step out. And then you can build your own library. You're able to print it out. You're able to put it in a binder. You're just not able to hand it out. I'm not able to hand it out. Okay? But these are all the tangles that you would have access to. All of it. Okay? So take down that website. That's where you want to go, Sala, to see more tangles. You can also go to zentangle.com and get on their newsletter. They will provide you with step outs as well. They're starting to show the new ones that I'm showing with the step outs. So now that we've had all of that wonderful confusion, would you like to, Sala? I could get you set up. If you're willing to do that, I'd love you. And then now we're going to shade it. So when you would do your videos, you could say, you know, whoever you got with for a CZT, I've taken the course for the Zentangle method. You can talk about the course. You can do all of that stuff. Now, what I'm also going to do, because I saw Ave's yes, so everyone's going to get a discount. I'll put a discount code down in the description to the Intro to Zentangle course that I have. We do 2 tiles. You get step outs. I don't think I ever want to say that word again. And you can just have fun. But you'll learn the entire method. You'll learn what it's all about, how it came about, what does it represent, what does it not represent. what's the principle behind it. Those 8 steps and all that fun stuff. So I'm so glad I caused great confusion. I did not mean to. And if you're interested in taking the course, you certainly can. Love to have you there. I'm available for questions. If you go into my community now, the free level, you will see 1 tangle a day, and I walk you through that tangle. Step by step, like I'm doing here. I talk through each of the steps. In somewhat greater detail. I like the graphite better with it. But you've got to sign it, and that level is free. There are no step outs that are being created for the 31 days that I'm doing in the community, so you don't have to worry about that. But then I also pull out a tangle every month in the free community, the first level. And then if I am fortunate enough to have you in my level 2, you will get a step out there, because I'm showing all the Zentangle tangles there. Well, this was a fun live. But, well, I honestly did not mean to cause any confusion. Here you go. Seedways by Carla Jorgen. CZT. That is what you can do. Okay, we're talking. Okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I'm just, no, Cordelia, you must continue to bake your bread and your breakfast. Absolutely. And Sal, I'll get you set up. I I appreciate that if you did. I can't do that right now, but I'll do it after this live. I'll get you set up. Then oh my goodness. Okay. No, 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 no. The purple pen was not fired. I like it mixed with the graphite when it comes to the pastel. So like even here I added the green, but I like it with the graphite. Same thing with this. I'm mixing them with the graphites just a little bit. And I'm liking that more than just the solid pastel chalk. Oh, I really do appreciate that. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I gab. It's I'm horrible. But what works for me with the gabbing are the tutorials that you're getting in the communities, whether either one, because I go into detail on what we're doing. So it works there. Here it probably doesn't work with the live. Probably people that are coming to my live are like, is she ever going to shut up? can do that? You can click on Sally's name in the chat and add her. All right. Oh, this is good. This is, look at that. Do I have to do that every time, Biddy? I think. Oh, okay. There you go. You're now a managing moderator. Huh. Look at that. See? Oh, okay. Well, hello, Anthony. How are you doing? And Ave's just safer if she uses the stamps. Okay. You can. I love creating the stamps. I do. All right. Would we like to see another tangle? Okay, but I don't see. She didn't change. Oh, yes, she did. And she just put tanglepatterns.com on it. You go, girl. You all should see my work right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Would we like to do another tangle? It did work. Okay, well, you're there. You are there, Sala. You are there. All right. Let's do another tangle, guys. What do you think? All right. Let's do. I'm gonna be on that one because now I'm gonna use another style pen. I'm gonna use a color because you can. The pens I like are either the microns. I like the Unipens or Faber-Castell, the Pitt pens. I like to use something that's archival. All right, this one's called Foundabout. Biddy likes this one very much. She likes this one. All right, am I still on camera here? Okay. All right, here we go. So we start out with a line. This is a really thin pen, but that's okay. And then we come off that and come back down. And then we do that again. And we keep doing that back and forth. And then we'll just put one more in here. Okay. Simple strokes. Well, and what's good, Kalinda, is this video will always be up. And then I do have other, I do have a playlist for Zentangle. I usually don't speak through those on YouTube. There's just like soft music going. But I don't speed them up. They're in real time. Alright, so now that we have this, so we're going to come off. And I'm going to stop because that's where my watercolor stops. I'm going to turn. Put there. And then we keep doing that. Like a leaf. Oh, sorry. Like a leaf. Right, now we're going to come off this other side. I don't know what that one comes through. So now it looks like each of these leaves are piercing each other. Right? And that's roundabout. You do, Biddy. I know. You love this one. You love this one. It is. Yes, Roundabout is on one of my stamp sets. Yes. Oh, Maddie, I'm glad you enjoyed it yesterday. We did. We had fun. Yeah, so Tangles, they're classified. You know, we have these classifications. Now, we can have fun adding to the tangle. That's the tangle. That's, and what I mean is, you know, when we talk about tangles, that's it. We then have the ability to just create different things. So for this, I think what I'll do, I'm going to put lines in this, and I think that's what I did on the other one. So we can add, we like to say we're adding love to the tangles. We just add these little tiny embellishments, whatever that may be. But it's these little touches and the shading that just pulls the tangle out and just makes it come to life. And now I'll do this for the other side. If you hear that noise, yeah, that's Max snoring. He's snoring, he's stretching, he's just having a grand old time. Absolutely, he is. And then we can add this shape here. Now, what's also cool, get your fingers limber, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Gwen, I'm not sure if it's in January or February. I thought there was a fragment one. Salad, don't ask me about fragments right now. Let's get you used to tangles. Oh, and on another note, while I'm doing this, so we made a change. I don't know if I told you guys this. We made a change, because yes, you were all with me when I made this change. So I'm no longer going to receive the Altenew, the big kit, the Craft Your Life kit. I wasn't feeling it. Beautiful kit. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful kit. I just wasn't feeling it. And then I'm going to make this line heavier. So I'm going to add more ink to that line. So make it, thicker, heavier on each of these. Now, I did replace it because I do want to bring back 5 cards, 1 kit, or, depending upon how far I go. You never know. I did keep the Altenew, the flower one, the one with the stencil. I did keep that. And I think that one is always going to be done in a live each month. So the one that I replaced, I went back to Simon Says. And I'll be getting their monthly kit. Yeah. I really like it. To me, they do a great job. I very rarely get one of those kits and say, no. It's very rare that I do that. And they've been killing me with kits. For this. So I just elongated those points, and then we can just take our pen and flick it. I like to call these little flicks. Oh, that one come on. Roundabout. So you can add, okay. Oh, hello, Harriet. You lurking, you. I hope you were doing well. We haven't talked in a while. I hope you're doing awesome. Okay. So I've been lurking at just yes. That was a sneeze and a cough at the same time. Oh my goodness. I've been doing very well, Harriet. I hope you have as well. Um, so yeah, give me. I'll send you a message. I'll put together a bundle and I'll set that up for you. Yes. So and I'll instant message you once it's up there. Of course you can. Thank you for reaching out. I appreciate that. See, Harriet, everyone in here knows you. It is, but at least you know, Kalinda, you can mark this video and go back to it. Look at it that way. Look at it that way. Oh, there you go. That is awesome, Harriet. You're getting your piece back. But I'm so glad he's doing better. So glad. All right, so now we're going to shade this because we always shade because that's what really pulls our tangles out. And again, we do not care about light source, which I'm sorry, I think is awesome. But then again, even when I would color even florals, which in our community we're going to use colored pencils in detail on a card project. So if you guys are there, stay tuned for that. Yay. Um, we just don't. We do not care about. Is that blue or is that black? No, it's green. I really need to label these now. Okay, here we go. And again, I'm just pulling it out. You can use a Q-tip for this. Oh, and have you guys seen that the stress-free card maker summit's coming to town again? Have you seen it? Wait till you guys have got to get your free ticket. You got to go get your free ticket. I will put that link down below as well. Yes, I am in that one. I was glad my schedule's not allowing for too many summits. Very upsetting. Because there was another one that I like to be in. But this one actually worked with my schedule. Again, I'll have that link. So get your free ticket because you won't believe what I'm showing. Again, ticket's free. That's what I think is awesome. Ticket is free. Now we're going to come in with the white because, yes, when we work on watercolor, we want to add our white highlight. We can even go over the graphite. Now let's find a color that matches somewhat. I don't know if this one will. These are new. I just got these. These are by Soho, and they're woodless. I don't know what that means exactly, but oh yes, hello. That one works. And again, I do not want to be an enabler for all of you. I do just like my pastels. I think they are an awesome way to color. And yes, I do have a color family. Just like we do with our blending brushes, we have color families. I have color families with my blending stumps. Or you could have color families with your Q-tips. it about? All right, where are we at in time? You want to do one more tangle? But oh, look at that. Oh my God, I forgot Sally. She's on it. So I haven't gone live yet, Ave, in Podia, but the tangles, the 31 tangles for October, are coming out every day in October at 12 noon. Now, thank you so much for joining, by the way, Ave. Were you able to go back and see the previous projects? I know that was a question that you had. I did. Oh, I'm sorry. These are Soho. Soho. They, I got, you don't need to get the set that I got. These are 48. Now, Gwen, it all depends on, Gwen's a big tangler. She does beautiful work. So these are chalk pastels, just like the General's chalk pastels. Now, I don't know if you want universal. I know Derwent makes tinted charcoals. They're awesome. But they also make graph tint, which means not only is it charcoal, but it's water soluble. So think about what you know, because then you just get one. You know, you don't need to be like me when it comes to this. These are nice, but yeah, I don't understand the whole concept of woodless. I guess it's just a coating. I don't know. This is all pigment. I don't know. I just feel like I'm going to break them. All right, one more tangle. What do you think? One? Well, you just let me know. Yes, Soho Universal Artist. Oh, Sal's on the move. Um, so yeah, Ave, let me know because you should be able to see everything previously as well. It's only if, like, if someone should leave, they won't have that access anymore, of course. And again, just remember the community is all about paper. Um, so there's other projects in there other than cards. Now this month we're going to do a card and very detailed with the image. The image that I chose of what we're going to color is that one. Is that in the screen? So we're going to use that image. And of course, we're going to do the bigger one. And we're going to color. Yes, with colored pencils. Any colored pencils you have. I don't. It does not matter. All right, well, let's do one more. What type? Gwen, you pick one. Be nice, Gwen. So yeah, so that's what, so that's going to come out in October for everyone. I wanted to make sure, because originally all my tangles were going to come out in the second level, and I did not like that. I did not like that decision that I made. All right, let's have some. We can have some fun with little ones. These are big. They have more strokes. So these are the ones that we've done so far. We have more. There's more strokes, except that one. You know, there's more strokes on these. They're very different, very um, intensive. But we do have those that are awesomely adorable. So remind me again, if I want to use watercolor, which ink should I use, Memento or the other? I can't remember the name now. Are you talking about for stamping? You want to use VersaFine. Memento's used for alcohol inks or alcohol markers. I'm sorry, alcohol markers. So you want to use a VersaFine, either the the Claire, the Nocturne, or the original VersaFine Black. So here's a fun one. It's called. Did you just tell Gwen to go hard with the Tangle choice? That's not nice, baby. That's not nice. You know what? I'm making a choice. We're going to do some cute little poke roots. So see, we just to show that everything's not intricate. Nah, let's do Huggins. So this is called Huggins. Huggins is a cool tangle. And it's a great tangle. But the grid is formed with orbs. Oh, Sala, I do need you to email me, please, so that I have your email. Thank you. Appreciate it. Now, and the grid, as I said, is set not with lines, but with orbs. All right. So I make sure that I look at my orbs this way. And here we go. We're going to start. So we connect the orbs, but we go every other one. I'm going to go to the next row. Go to the next one. I need to fix that. Now, we're going to do that same thing, but now we need to do it the other way. So we're connecting the orbs. That is Huggins. I love Crazy Huggins too, but I figured let's go with just Huggins right now. Yeah. So Crazy Huggins, basically, imagine strings throughout this, and if you pull them, they get distorted. So this would all be all over the place and distorted. It's really cool. Okay. So here, we're just going to add some more lines. And this is actually a sneak into the next stamp launch. All right, I think I got one. So now, so when we do this, we can play tricks on the eyes. And whatever this paper is, I do not like tangling in it. Just saying. There's some papers you'll fall in love with, there's some papers you won't. See, now that looks like it's intertwined. This is called lace, and I do not remember the name of the CZT that created this. So with simple strokes, we can create an illusion. See, now it just looks like something's being pulled through. And then you can do the same thing with just little tiny things that you add. You can have all kinds of fun just adding little tiny bits that just accent the tangle. And it can be whatever you want. Now you can also leave these completely blank. And again, the shading will just pull the tangle out. So when we stopped before I put the second line in, that was the tangle Huggins. I think I just have this last one. Okay, my cat must be dreaming right about now. Too funny. Huggins, a different way. Yes, exactly. No, they're not. So do you do splatter then tangle? Something to connect the spots. I know a lot of crafters will doodle this way, but not sure if it would work with tangles. So Harriet, what do you mean by splatter? So do you mean like literally splatter and then connect the dots? That it all depends. I think if that's what you're talking about, I think it would all depend on the tangle, um, flicking paint or ink. It all depends. So there's things that tanglers do that's called mapping. So here's an example of that. You can see the edge of this watercolor right here. And you can see that I've stopped the tangle along that cut line. we'll do something like that. Over here, I did it there too. So it's following the form of what the watercolor is. Um, and there's a lot of times where there's a technique where you just get watercolor down and you just literally let it roll. And then you tangle either around it and leave the watercolor part alone, or you tangle on the watercolor. Um, Depending upon the size of the splatters, you could incorporate it into a tangle. Yeah, but it would probably have to really be figured out. But absolutely, it could be done. All right, so now we're gonna bring this tangle to life. And you can see how I'm putting the pencil down. Again, we are not... I laugh at this only because people think, okay, well, I've got to make sure that it blends correctly. No, just you just want to get your graphite down, and then you just want to push it around. Push it around. Where's my black one again? Here it is. And I'll either go back and forth depending upon what it is that I'm shading. Will depend if I go in circles or if I go back and forth. But you can see, just moving the graphite. And you get to hear that wonderful noise. Alright, now I know I want to come in with my white. Right over where the lace is, because that'll highlight the bump. And you always use my finger for that. And now, what color? What pretty, pretty color. Huggins. It's a lot of fun. The paper that I am using, Kalinda, is a watercolor, a cold press watercolor, and I'm using it. I don't know what brand, to be very honest, and I'm kind of glad I don't know the brand, because this was a scrap. It's very textured, and I even used the smaller size, or the more flatter side. I have the feeling this is Arches. I know, blasphemy. I said it's not. Arches is awesome for watercolor. But tangling on it, hmm, I like somewhat of a smoother surface. There's a watercolor paper that um, I found on Amazon. Um, it's by Pacon, Pacon. It's it is awesome to tangle on. I mean, awesome and reasonable. If you get a group of people together, you could get like 200 or 100 sheets of 90-pound watercolor paper. They do have a heavier weight, but I like the 90-pound for like 20 bucks. It's just really good. Okay? Huggins. Question. I'm practicing Melvina, and I think I like to draw the diamonds and then the banners. No, there's no reason for you to do the banners. It's just that's the way that I showed you. You don't have to always draw the banners first, Biddy. You can draw your diamonds first and then fill in with your banners. It will then allow, if you do that, so she's talking about, oh, that, no, not that. I don't want that. Oh my goodness, what am I doing here? So she's talking about this tangle here. That one. It's a pretty, it's got a wonderful Aztec feel to it. So she's talking about these diamonds here. And what's great, and that is by Nadine Roller, the CZT. So what's great is if you do start with your diamonds first, and if you put them in a certain way or whatever way you want them, you can make this tangle move the way you want it to move. So you just want to make sure that you get your V's in there. And then I would do your parallel lines last, so that you get that difference when it comes to this. So you can make this turn and curve if you want. So you could add a curve to that banner if you want now. Curve banner. So yeah. Once you learn a tangle, you'll adapt it, or you can adapt it to how you draw or how you want to form those lines. You don't have to, once you get it into your head, you don't have to follow the way, if you're looking at a step out, the way the step out puts it through. Good morning, Teresa. Let's see. What links are you looking for on other lines? I don't know about the bottles. I think she used the gold light, I think. Okay, where is it? Where is it? There's a question in here. There's a question in here. So I would like if you can get the link for the gold ink and bottles Des used last week. I think I could use that for the cards I am making. Oh, if you... Okay, so Ave, after this live... I guess I never put that in there. Okay, so there is... I'll put it in there. I have an Amazon storefront. Imagine that. And in there, I have all these different things, like those bottles, and all the things that I have ever used that are linked in there. So, and I have one for card making, one for journals, one for Zen Tangle. So I have different like playlists, so forth. So you'll be able to, after, give me a second, I'll check to make sure that they're in there. Um, and I'll make sure they're linked. And then later on today, just check that out. I got a list. I've got a list now. I need to make a list. Add bundle 3. Add Amazon. Because I know that link is not going to change. My Podia links are not going to change. My website is not going to change. What I'm finding is, unfortunately, some of the links that I've put on in the past, unfortunately, companies have closed, or the company has switched around their links to these items, and I don't want anyone to get an error link. I don't want anyone to get those types of things. So for like stamps and dies that I used, I'll link you to the store, and then I'll have the name of what I used. So you'll just have to do a search, but at least you have the link to the shop when it comes to that. And then my Amazon, that I know that's not going to change. So I'll have that down there as well. But just know, sometimes where I went to get that item, it might be sold out, but at least you'll have the name of it and you can continue the search. Does that make sense? I know. I never, when it comes to when I tangle, I don't look for perfection. I mean, that doesn't bother me because I can judge it up. I can sit there and say, okay, well, if I change that and just fix that, and then I would just make this a weighted line into the square. There. It's somewhat more fixed, but it's this I have no problems letting go stuff and just letting it be and having fun um, when it comes to the lines or anything like that. Yeah. So I'll do that. So I'll make sure that that's, yeah. So those are the precision tip glue bottles that we used to, all had to have back in the day. Now we don't want to use them. I think it's funny how our craft in card making just evolves and train and moves. All right. So give me about, give it an hour. All right. Once I shut down the live, which will be in a couple more minutes. Um, and then Ave, you'll be able to see your links. I'll put my Amazon store link in there. Just know it is an affiliate link. Being transparent, my Amazon store are affiliate links. Um, I'll link down to my Introduction to Zentangle class. I'll put that down there. And then when you click on that, I will also have a discount code linked there if anyone is interested in taking um, the intro to Zentangle. If you want to learn about the method, the full method of Zentangle, the discount will be 15%. Harriet, I will get your bundle 3 up. I'll get that created. I can't think of anything else. I hope, make sure you go into the community though, because we are doing 31 days of Tangles, and I am so enjoying this very much. I'm learning new tangles and trying them. This one's just very different, and just having a lot of fun. But you will get all of these tangles, um, full instruction on how they work. Puffle. Um, when it comes. There's Sister. That one's fun. So, by all means, please make sure you check that out. I'll have that linked down below as well. I hope you had fun today. This was a very different live. Can I certify you? No. I am not able to train any certified Zentangle teachers or anyone to be a certified Zentangle teacher. You have to get that through either through zentangle.com directly or their designated groups. I think there's one in Spain, there's one in France, and there's one, I believe, in Singapore. You would have to go through them. But again, if you're looking to teach it, then I'm absolutely, you know what, contact zentangle.com, get involved. It's a 4-day course. It's up there in price, but it's wonderful. If you want to teach, if you're just looking to tangle on your channel, here we go again, tangle on your channel or tangle on your cards, it's not worth it for you to do that unless you want to, and unless you want to spend the money that it is. All right. Oh, Harriet, I hope it was relaxing, because for a while there, I thought Sala was, going to. There's a lot of confusion going on there, and I'm so sorry. I know I'm sure I caused the confusion, and I did not mean to. When it comes to that. It does, Ave, yes. The Aurochs looks like a fox. Yes, and that's done by the creator of the pamphlet every October that she puts together. All right, so again, I will get all of that stuff. Just give me about an hour. Harriet, I will send you a message once I get your bundle together for you. So we'll take care of that. Yeah, Harriet, we're going to have another one released November. Yay! And again, Sala, email me if you would, please, because I do have something for you when it comes to that. And thank you so much for being my moderator. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I really do. Yes, you can tangle and put it on a greeting card. Anybody can take a tangle, put it on a card, and it's Zentangle inspired art or it's doodle art. Yes, you can absolutely do that. You can show any tangle like I did here on your channel if you have a channel. All right? Again, it's okay. It's all right, yes, but you can definitely do that. Okay? All right, guys. Take care. I am grateful for you all. Love you all. Thank you for those being here, for those of you in my community, for those of you that do that little bit of support. I cannot say thank you much, and I'm honored that I am allowing me, or you all are making me, be part of your creative journey. So thank you. Can you show all what we did this morning? I can do that. See, I saw it. So we did not get to cards. You watched me tear paper and you watched me tangle. That's what we did today. We created some watercolor blobs and we tangled. So this is Mystical. This is Hardy Y4. This is Seedways by Carla Jorgen. This is Muka. That's Foundabout. And Huggins with Lace. And I cannot remember the CZT that created lace, but that is lace. Okay? And yes, you can cut these down and put them on a card. Just don't put Zentangle there. Just say Zentangle Inspired Art. Zia. Z-I-A. That's all. I can't even say Zentangle if I sell that. All right? Let's try this again. Love you all. Thank you all for everything. I had fun today. I hope you did too. We kind of took a huge 180-degree turn with what we were going to do. But it is Inktober, and maybe we'll do that not next Sunday, because I'm off next Sunday, but maybe the following Sunday. So that's the 12th. So the 19th. Maybe we'll do that again on the 19th. All right? Yeah. All right, guys. Take care. Love you all. Have a great day. Have a great week. And I will see you in 2 weeks. I'll give you a little bit of a break. Take care.